Have you ever daydreamed your way to success? I mean, it sounds like pure fantasy, right? But what if, just what if, those pictures you're painting in your head could actually pave the way to your biggest goals? Let's dive into the surprising power of our own imagination.
So that gets us to the big question, right? Is winning just a roll of the dice, a total matter of luck? Or is it possible you can actually make your own? It's a really cool idea. And wait till you hear some of these stories. They're pretty mind-blowing. Okay, let's kick things off with one of the all-time great David versus Goliath matchups in baseball, the 1988 World Series. On one side, you've got the Oakland A's. They were called the Invincibles for a reason. And then you've got the LA Dodgers, a team that was just battered and bruised. I mean, their star player, Kirk Gibson, could barely even walk. The odds were just astronomically stacked against them.
So get this, while his team is out there fighting on the field, Kirk Gibson is literally in the clubhouse, his legs packed in ice, but in his mind, he was playing the game of his life. For 9 straight innings, he just kept visualizing this one exact moment, hitting a game-winning home run. And then, when they finally call him in to pinch hit, he actually does it. No way. He basically wrote this unbelievable storybook ending before he even picked up the bat.
And this wasn't just some one-off miracle. Take a look at Al Joyner. Before the '84 Olympics, he was a total unknown. The TV previews for his event didn't even say his name. And what does he do? He goes out and shocks the entire world, wins the gold medal. Then, after years of injuries and setbacks, he's heading into the '88 trials, and his mindset was just rock solid. He said he was on a mission, completely driven by his refusal to let negative thoughts in.
Okay, so this isn't just for superhuman athletes. What about the rest of us? Well, it turns out this exact same pattern shows up in this really fascinating and honestly super dedicated community of people called contesters. For them, entering sweepstakes is way more than a hobby. It's a serious passion.
And just how big is this world? I mean, check this out. Back in 1982 alone, we're talking over $170 million in cash and prizes given away. And here's the real kicker. A small group of these so-called professional contesters were winning way, way more than you'd ever expect from just random luck. So was it just that they were persistent, or was there something else going on here?
And this gets us right to the heart of what these winners believed. According to Betty Owens, who was a regular winner for 15 years, her secret, she said, was to picture yourself winning. Not just any prize, but the top prize. That belief, she claimed, is what gets you so much closer to actually succeeding. And it's not just her. You see this pattern again and again. You've got Ken Slotnick, who wanted to go to Paris so badly he literally plastered his walls with maps, and then he won the trip. There's Shelia Kauser, who swears she visualized every single prize she ever won. It's like what another winner, Vi Richmond, said. Is that what they call making your own luck? For these folks, the answer seems to be a huge yes.
Okay, so we've heard these wild stories, but how in the world is this supposed to actually work? Let's get into the mechanics of how, according to these sources, you can turn a mental picture into a real-life thing.
All right, the first big idea here is called visualization. And really all it is a strategy for imagining yourself being the person you want to be. You know that little voice in your head that whispers, "Oh, I could never do that." Well, this is all about shutting that voice down. By creating this vivid, successful picture, you're building a whole new mental stage for yourself to perform on. And that brings us to the second piece of the puzzle, auto-suggestion. The idea here is that you can basically convince your subconscious mind of something just by repeating it over and over. The theory goes that your subconscious isn't judging or analyzing, it just accepts whatever you feed it, positive or negative, and gets to work trying to make it happen in the real world.
So this is where you make a really crucial mental shift. Instead of focusing on the problem, like telling yourself, "I can't do that," you flip it. You create an affirmation focused on the solution. I am going to get that job. It works for anything. You stop picturing the problem and you start actively picturing the outcome you want.
You know, there's an old Latin proverb that just nails this whole idea perfectly. Believe that you have it and you have it. The core idea is that your mind can't build something in reality until it has first built the blueprint in your imagination.
So you might be thinking, okay, this is cool, but how do I actually do it? Well, one psychologist lays out a really simple 4-step guide. Think of it as your own mental toolkit for what she calls constructive daydreaming.
First up, step 1, you've got to relax completely. Find a comfy spot, close your eyes, let go of all that tension. Step 2, place yourself right in the picture. And I mean really see it. What does it look like, smell like, feel like? Use all your senses. Step 3, experience the feeling of success. Let that awesome feeling of accomplishment just wash over you. And the last step, which is maybe the most important, repeat, do it again and again. That's how you really burn that image into your mind.
So if you look at the big picture here, the one thing that connects all these stories, from the world-class athletes to the folks winning contests at their kitchen table, it's the central idea of picturing your own success. But why? Why is this supposed to be so powerful? Well, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, in his famous book Psycho-Cybernetics, offers this really mind-blowing explanation. He says, get this, your nervous system literally cannot tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that's actually happening. It just automatically reacts to whatever picture you feed.
So let's boil it all down. The big ideas are that what you focus on, you attract. Repetition is how you plant those ideas deep in your mind, and you always visualize the solution, not the problem. But, and this is so important, you can't miss this, there's a huge reality check here. As one author put it, faith without action is dead. This isn't about just sitting on the couch and wishing for things. The visualization is the spark, but you still have to do the work.
And that brings everything right back to you. What all of these stories suggest is that so much of what we achieve starts with a single picture we hold in our heads. So I'll leave you with this one simple question. What picture are you going to hold in your mind?